Good afternoon, dear students and teachers. In this video, we are going to learn basic argument structure at debate clubs, rebuttal, and signposting. Talking about the basic argument structure, we can mention that there are very large number of ways dividing up cases according to groups of arguments, such as social, economic, political. So you can assign each speaker to handle a group. Place the most important argument first. For example, the media has more influence on self-esteem than anybody else. And you mentioned that it is true for 3 reasons. Firstly, you give most important argument. Secondly, thirdly, least important argument. To structure an argument, you should follow the steps. Claim. Present your argument in a clear statement. This claim is one of the reasons why you are in favor of or against the motion. Evidence. The evidence supporting your claim you can prove with the help of statistics, references, quotes, and so on. And impact. Explain the significance of the evidence. How does this support your claim? Signposting. This may seem annoying and unnecessary. If you think you are written the best and most interesting, easy to follow debate in the world, the fact is that the audience is not you. They don't know the topic you are covering in the depths, and you know it, of course. They are certainly not as invested in debate as you are. They may zone out for a few moments in the introduction and get completely lost. This is what makes signposting so important. It is a very easy way to simplify and effectually remind your listener of what you are talking about and where you're up to in your speech. Rebuttal. Arguments are weakest at the evidence stage, as it is easier to argue against. For example, the evidence may consist of isolated examples, or they may counter evidence. But it's not a good technique because opposition can provide more evidence and rebut your criticism. It is difficult to rebut claims because they are reasonably and very reasonably, but you can attack a claim, then the speaker's whole argument falls apart. So if you think a claim is valuable, then rebut, so you will lead a strong explanation to show why it doesn't matter. There are common flaws you can look for to form rebuttal. For example, assertion. It is when a speaker presents a statement which isn't actually argument because there is no reason to believe that the statement is valid. It may be just an assumption. You can point out that there has not been enough examination to prove this, and then give a reason why the assertion is probably not valid. False dichotomy. It is when the speaker is trying to divide the debate into 2 sides, even though there are more alternatives than they have stated. It is likely the speaker is going this on a purpose, but in some cases they don't understand the debate. Moral flawed. Arguments can be morally flawed. For example, all criminals given a prison statement should be given the tax penalty instead. This will save the country money and space. What has been argued is true, but it is not clearly morally flawed. Failure to deliver promises. Sometimes a speaker might fail to complete a task they promised to deliver. For instance, they may state that they will provide evidence supporting a certain claim, but they may lose track of what have said and not actually do this. Strawman. The opposing team introduces an argument and then rebuts it, but it may use an extreme example of your proposal, and perhaps they are hoping you will make this argument. Contradiction. An argument the other team presents may contradict one of their previous arguments. You must point out that the arguments cannot be true simultaneously and then explain how this reduces their case's credibility. Compare the conclusion to reality. Think, what would happen if what they, the other team, are suggesting is implemented right now? This is actually can help you to show that there is more complicated than they are suggested, and the changes can cause secondary problems. As for the tips we want to give you are the following. First, avoid the usage of never. Second, avoid the use of always. Refrain your saying if you are wrong. You can say your ideas is mistaken. Don't agree with obvious truth. Attack the idea, not the person. Avoid exaggeration. Use of often and generally allow for exceptions. If it is just an opinion, admit it. Do not present opinion as facts. Stress the positive. Watch your tone voice. Keep your perspective. You have just debating.